is we're going to move over. Senior night here is we're going to put that over and pull up what's going on.
Antonio is one of 3 senior captains on this year's Pioneer team, a second-year varsity player. He started 18 of 20 games this year and is Pioneer's 3rd leading scorer and 3rd leading rebound. Antonio recently had one of his best games of Pioneer with 12 points and 6 rebounds in the win over Saline. And he'll be continuing his education next year in art. We're still trying to figure out exactly where he's going to be doing that. He's joined tonight by his parents, Kara and Chris, and his grandparents, Roy and Marilyn Glover.
San Antonio Christian was just celebrated senior night as trying to get going quickly here, and we're going to turn it over to our public press announcement.
Next up, we have Dylan Pasnick. Dylan is also one of the senior captains on this year's team, a second-year player as well. He's been a key contributor as either a starter coming off the bench. He leads the team in 3-point field goals made this season. Came up with a career-high 7 rebounds in the big win over Saline, a career-high 11 points in the win at Monroe. Dylan is Miami. He's going to be going to the U, the University of Miami in Florida. And he is joined tonight by his brother Justin, or maybe not his brother Justin, but his dad Craig and mom Elizabeth. Next up, Maddie Delaney. Maddie is the first-year varsity player for Pioneer. He's been a vital part of the Pioneer this season by providing 2 minutes off the bench and in practice. Gives great effort every day and brings a lot of energy to the team. He's played in 13 games this season. With his best performance Pioneer, he set season highs with 8 points and 5 rebounds in a comeback win at Monroe. Maddie plans on attending trade school following graduation from Pioneer, and he's joined by his mom, Amy. Next up, we have Miles Powell. Miles is a second-year varsity player, has been an important part of the team as both a starter and coming off the bench this year. He's played all 20 games, scoring in 18 of those 20 games, including a season-best 7-point effort in a recent win at Dexter. Miles is shooting 50% on 2-point field goals and over 70% on his free throws. And he's undecided at the current point how he's going to, or where he's going to continue his education. He's joined tonight by his brother Micah, sister Ray Ray, mom and dad Matthew and Mandy. Next up we have Reed Uhas. Reed is the final of the 3 senior captains on this year's team, second-year varsity player. Reed started all 20 games this year and provides a great deal of scoring and excellent defense. He's often tasked with guarding the opponent's best perimeter scorer. Reed has been in double figures 4 times, including a season-best 17 at Saline, as well as 15 and 14 respectively in recent wins over Bedford and Dexter. Reed is joined by his brother Nate, sister Bridget, dad Paul, and mother Moira. Last but not least, we have Hussein Conte. Hussein is a second-year varsity player, been a key contributor off the bench this season, one of the hardest-working players on the team. Hussein has played 11 games for the team this year, providing scoring and defense in a reserve role. Came off the bench to score a season-best 6 points in the season-opening win over Farmington. And we have a note to ourselves to make sure we tell the kids what time they have their families here next year. But it's good that some of his teammates go drive there with him right now. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to also thank 3 of the senior moms that are out there tonight, Kara, Maggie, and Moira. They've been a part of a group of parents that are trying to help organize things and make the season work. Our credit for everybody involved. They've done a lot of great work planning things like the night, the concession stand, the teacher appreciation night, team dinners. So thank you to them as well. And with that, let's give everybody, parents and players, a round of applause and good luck tonight, guys. Looking forward to watching.
As a great senior celebration for all the wonderful, amazing seniors here, as we'll play a few messages from the MHSAA and be right back. As you were watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Harbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
as we did not get to do this because we hopped right into the senior celebration. Basketball fans, Pioneer men's varsity basketball is live and on the air. It is Pioneer men's varsity basketball taking on the Adrian Maples here on the campus of Pioneer in the main gym. As we opened up really quickly with a senior celebration, as celebrating the wonderful seniors with this team: Antonio Christian, Hussein Conde, Miles Powell, Dylan Passernick, Madden Delaney, and Reed Uhas. If you missed it, about 5 minutes after the game is over, this will be on demand, and you can just hop in and take a look at it then. Taking a look at the records for both of these teams, as it is Pioneer 9-11 on the season. Their last several games, as it was a whole bunch of stuff getting postponed and rearranged last week due to all the ice and craziness we had. So taking a look at the last 5 games, that would go all the way back to, I can do some basic counting, the game versus Dexter back on the 10th, as that was Pioneer winning 54-35. Then it was the Lincoln game here at home, and that was a 58-51 win by Pioneer. Then they beat Saline. That was a huge comeback win. Pioneer winning that one 53-49. If you missed that, again, we have all of the games that we broadcast on demand. Go out and check that out off of the Arbor Broadcasting website. Then the last game was rescheduled and played back on the 25th, as that was Huron taking on Pioneer over at Huron, and that was a Huron win 40-29. So 9-11 for Pioneer. Adrian is 8-10 on the season. Taking a look at their last 5 games, they lost to Tecumseh, or no, they beat Tecumseh, excuse me. That means they're 9-9, if I can count right. So they beat Tecumseh 56-42. Then they beat Lansing Sexton. That was back on the 18th. That was 75-54. 18th of January. On January 20th, they beat. Actually, this is not in a proper order for some reason. They have January after February. So I printed it off of the MHSAA website. So let's try that again. Let's go 5 back in January. That would be, they lost on February 10th, that to Jackson, 70-63. They lost on February 14th to Chelsea, 63-64. On February 17th, they lost to Tecumseh, 59-43. They on 21st, they beat Ypsilanti Community, 68-45. And then back on the 25th of February, they lost to Mason, 51-47. As Pioneer will be playing the playoffs at Lincoln Consolidated Schools, and check out the bracket is now up at MHSAA.com. And if you go in and if you search for sports, you can find basketball inside of there. And for boys basketball, they do have a brackets that you can check out. And when doing that in the districts, Pioneer should be in Division 1 for the districts. And they're going to be District 17. So it's going to be first on March 6th at 7 p.m. South Line East versus South Line. It's a 14-5 South Line East versus 14-16 South Line. That is going to be on the 6th of March at 7 p.m. over at Ypsilanti Community. Then Pioneer plays on the 8th at 5:30. They will be playing Skyline. It'll be Skyline versus Dexter, 5:30. Skyline 13-8 versus Dexter, 5-16 at 5:30 on the 8th. And then it will be, that is not the right bracket. Let me find that. Here it is. This is what I'm looking for. Sorry. Excuse that. That's what happens when I try and look it up and talk to you folks at the same time. There is a game on the 6th, though, over at Ypsilanti Lincoln. It is Ypsilanti Lincoln, 6-14 versus Ypsilanti Community, who is 0-17. Winner of that game advances to play Huron. So then it's Pioneer versus Saline. Huge matchup after the big comeback win by Pioneer the other day. Saline 14-11, Pioneer 10-10. That will be at 5:30 on the 8th over at Ypsilanti Lincoln. So please come on out, cheer on the team. We'd love to see as many people purple-clad out there. Love to see as many fans cheering on that as well. Then Huron after that will play at 7:30. The winner of Ypsilanti Lincoln versus Ypsilanti Community. Huron 19-1, having another fantastic season as new head coach, but same fantastic results as they will play at 7 o'clock. And then the winner of those two games will face off on the 10th of March at 7 p.m. That is District 18, hosted by Ypsilanti Lincoln. District 18, hosted by Ypsilanti Lincoln. 4 minutes, 13 seconds coming up before we get going with the starting lineups and the national anthem. So we are going to, I do want to thank and say there are a couple seniors on the Adrian team as well, as Ficklin is a senior, as well as Holden Davies, Emmanuel Potenza, Kenyon Martin. All 4 of those are seniors on the Adrian team as well. So thank you to those wonderful students who are wrapping up their high school career and wrapping up their time with the basketball team. CTN is here broadcasting as well. You can watch their game on YouTube tomorrow. So if you want to check out that, CTN always does a fantastic job on these broadcasts. Tomorrow, they will have it on their YouTube channel. We're going to step away, play just a few more messages from the MHSAA, and be right back with the national anthem in your starting lineups. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Well, save a date on your calendars as the Pioneer fundraising booster bash is happening on Saturday, April 15th, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Germain Audi of Ann Arbor. It is the largest fundraiser event for Pioneer Athletics of the year. Again, the Ann Arbor Pioneer Booster Fundraising Bash, Saturday, April 15th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Germain Audi of Ann Arbor. There will be items to bid on and more. Come on out. We'd love to see you there. If we're not doing a game, we'll do our best to make it out. So check that out and save the dates. As about a minute counting down, both teams getting warmed up. Pioneer is in their white jerseys with their purple numbers on the back and on the front. Pioneer with block lettering on the front, as Adrian is in their blue jerseys with the white numbers on the front and on the back. They have a little maple leaf on the back there, and they have Adrian across the front in block lettering. As we are getting ready for the public address announcer, as John getting set across the way, as looks like we're probably going to typically do the national anthem first, as the Pioneer men are lining up over to our right. Here come the Adrian team, and we will turn things over, stand, and honor America by playing the national anthem.
Remove all caps for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you.
As John should be doing the starting lineups in mere moments.
Good evening again,
And here he goes.
In our Pioneer High School, its athletics department and its men's basketball program are pleased to welcome the players, coaches, parents, students, alumni, and fans of the Adrian Maples to tonight's game against your another Pioneers. Let's meet the starting lineup. First for Adrian, number 11, sophomore forward, Antonio Brown. For Pioneer, number 0, senior forward, Antonio Christian. For Adrian, number 12, junior forward, Sean Parker. For Pioneer, he's number 20, a senior forward, Dylan Passerman. For the Maples, number 1, sophomore guard, Stevie Elam. For the Pioneers, number 3, senior guard, Miles Powell. For Adrian, number 2, senior guard, Amarian Pecklin. For Pioneer, number 23, senior guard, Madeline Delaney. For Adrian, number 4, junior guard, Tristan Hayes. And finally, for Pioneer, he's number 35, a senior, Utah. The head coach of Adrian, Jordan Keller. The head coach of Pioneer, Rich Marion. And the third team on the sport tonight, AJ, the officials, AJ Hyatt, Mike Knabush, and Jeremy Valentine.
As we thank John for that wonderful opening and introduction, getting ready for the opening tip, Ficklin in to take the tip versus Delaney. Pioneer going from right to left, Adrian left to right as Christian has it over to Passernick. Passernick on the near wing, Passernick kicks it over to Powell on the far wing, hands it off to Uhas. Uhas Just at the blockades, over to Christian on the near wing. Christian over to Pasternak, just off the top of the key, over to the right. Gets it back to Uhas on the near wing. Thought about it, now underneath the Powell. Powell over to Delaney, just off the top of the key to the far side. Delaney kicks it back over to Uhas on the far wing. Uhas comes to the free throw line. That tipped away, now racing the other direction. Elam with it. Now that put up by Ficklin, who puts it up and in. As it's 2-0, Adrian with the lead. Delaney has it on the baseline, kicks it now. Christian for a long two-pointer, as that's pulled down by Elam, coming the other direction. Here comes Adrian. Adrian up 2-0 here on Pioneer, just over half court. Elam calling out signals. Elam being watched by Pasternak. Bounce pass over on the near elbow to Parker. Parker trying to get it underneath the Ficklin. That knocked out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball. 6:54 left to go here in the first. As Christian inbounds it to Uhas. Uhas brings the head for Pioneer. Pioneer down 2-0 to Adrian. Uhas over half court. Uhas on the blockades. Now bounce pass over to Christian on the near wing. Christian over to Pasternak on the far wing. Pasternak now underneath the Delaney. Delaney puts it up. That ball's just short as Ficklin with the rebound. Coming ahead, Elam over half court. Elam on the near wing, dribbles to his left to the free throw line. Moves it over to Hayes on the far wing. Hayes being watched by Powell. Now over to Ficklin. Ficklin on the far sideline. Ficklin puts it up from the far elbow. That off glass pulled down by Parker. Parker puts it up and in, and that is 4-0. Adrian with the lead at 6:08. Uhas for Pioneer down the near sideline. Hands it off to Powell. Powell to Christian. Back to Powell on the far sideline. Miles Powell trying to get it to Delaney. That goes out of bounds. Adrian ball. 5:59 left to go. 4-0. Adrian with the lead as inbounding at Brown. Gets it to Elam. Elam brings it ahead for Adrian. Elam over half court. Pasternak watching him. Now Elam bounce pass on the near wing, bringing it in. Parker. Parker. That blocked as Delaney with the rebound. Delaney for Pioneer gets it to Uhas. Uhas over half court. Uhas. Pioneer down by 4. Uhas on the near wing for Pioneer. Hands it off to Miles Powell. Miles Powell working his way around the arc. Gives it to Christian. Christian now comes to the free throw line. Bounce pass underneath to Delaney. Delaney going to go up, but there is going to be, that's going to go over to Adrian. Delaney picks up the foul, his first foul on either team. As Adrian inbound with 5:26 left to go. 4-0. Adrian with the lead, bringing it ahead. With it is Ficklin. Ficklin over half court. Ficklin being watched by Uhas. Ficklin gets that over to Parker. Parker underneath and put up and in by Elam. Elam with his first points of the game, and it's 6-0. Adrian with the lead. Christian gets it to Uhas for Pioneer. Uhas brings it up the near sideline. Elam watching him. Uhas over half court. Uhas bounce pass over to Christian on the near wing. Christian moves it top of the key to Delaney. Delaney dribbles, moves it over to Uhas on the far sideline. Knocked away by Brown, but Pasternak has it. Pasternak into the paint, pulled away by Brown, but a whistle blown. That is going to be. Brown picks up his first foul. 1 foul on Pioneer, 1 foul on Adrian. Uhas inbound baseline left with 4:45 left to go here in the first. Uhas baseline left underneath his own basket. That knocked away. Here comes Adrian the other direction as Hayes moves it over and put up and in by Ficklin. He has 4 off the finger roll. And it's 8-0. Adrian with the lead with 4:32 left to go. Uhas for Pioneer on the near wing, working against Elam into the paint. Dishes it off. Pasternak for 3. And off the rim down to the near side. Delaney trying to keep it in, but he steps out of bounds, and that's going to be Adrian ball. 4:22 left to go here in the first. 8-0. Adrian with the lead. 1 foul on each team as Brown inbounds it. That over to Ficklin. Ficklin brings it over half court for Adrian. Uhas watching him there. Ficklin calls out signals, trying to get to it. Uhas steals it away for Pioneer. Uhas bounce pass as Ficklin gets it. That off of Pioneer. Now coming the other direction is Brown for Adrian. Over half court. Into the near corner for Elam. Elam for three. That rims off the glass, but put up by Ficklin with the rebound off the glass, and it's 6-0, or 6 points for Ficklin, 10-0. Adrian over Pioneer. Uhas for Pioneer over half court. Elam watching him. Uhas, top of the key, dribbles to his left. Uhas gets it over to Miles Powell on the near wing. Now top of the key for Pasanic. Pasanic dribbles to his left into the paint. Picks up the dribble, kicks it off to Christian. Christian for a long two. That rims out. Delaney with the rebound. Delaney over to Uhas. Uhas over to Miles Powell. Now on the near wing, Pasternak. 3:25 left to go here in the first. Pasternak gets it to Uhas just off of the top of the key. Now Uhas steps back on the block A's. Uhas bounce pass over to Christian. Christian over to Pasternak. Pasternak trying to get it underneath. That blocked from behind. Delaney had it as Ficklin blocks it. Out of bounds. That is Conde in for Pioneer. Freisteller as well as Mutinda. Sampa in there as well. As Mutinda has it, top of the key, hands it off to Sampa. Sampa steps back, gets it over to Freisteller. Freisteller on the far wing. Now Miles Powell on the far sideline gets it over to Hussein Conde. That pulled away by Hayes. Hayes into the paint, puts it up off glass, off the front of the rim. Miles Powell trying to get it. That pulled down by Parker. And put up off the side of the glass. Now Miles Powell has it. 10-0. Adrian with the lead. Freisteller now ahead into the paint. Freisteller puts it up. Oh, almost went quarter of the way down, then popped out. Hard luck miss by Pioneer. Adrian has it as Ficklin comes over half court. Ficklin on the far wing gets it over to Brown. Brown thought about it on the far sideline. Freisteller watching him. Brown moves it over to Hayes. Hayes spins, now hands it off to Elam. Elam just inside of half court, being watched by Hussein Conde. There's Brown for three. Brown puts it up and in. That makes it 13-0. Adrian over Pioneer. 2 minutes left to go here in the first. Freisteller on the far wing. Over on the far sideline is Miles Powell over to Hussein Conde. Back over to Freisteller. Now on the near wing is Sampa. Sampa comes just inside of half court now. Sampa over on the near wing to Conde. Now back over to Conde from Freisteller to the near elbow. Conde picks up the dribble. Stolen away by Ficklin. Ficklin over half court over to Elam. Elam puts up the finger roll and in. Elam has 4 points, and it's 15-0. Adrian with the lead. Pioneer wants to take a timeout and talk it over. We'll play a little push on and be right back here with 1 minute 32 seconds left to go in the first. Pioneer won the freshman game 48-47 and the JV game 69-34. But here the Maples have the lead 15-0 as Freisteller into the near corner for Conde. Conde works his way around, picks up the dribble, trying to get it to Freisteller. Freisteller into the paint. Again, that rolls around and falls off the rim as DeKaiser coming the other direction on the far wing. DeKaiser hands it off to Ficklin. Ficklin as Sampa watching him into the near corner. That's put up off the rim by DeKaiser. Pulled down by Sampa heading the other direction with a minute left to go. Sampa in here in the first. Sampa on the far wing. Gets it over to Freisteller. Freisteller top of the key. Hands it off to Miles Powell. Miles Powell now gets it over to Sampa on the far sideline. 44 seconds left to go here in the first. 15-0. Adrian with the lead. Miles Powell comes down the baseline and then a whistle. That foul is going to be on DeKaiser, his first. One foul on Pioneer, two on the Maples. Sampa to inbound, baseline left. Sampa skies it over to Miles Powell. Miles Powell, top of the key. Hands it off to Conde. Conde over to Freisteller on the far wing. Freisteller into paint. Picks up his dribble. Now Sampa has it. Gets a screen from Mutinda on the far wing. Gets it over to Conde. Now on the near wing. And into Mutinda, into the paint. Puts it up high off glass. Whistle and a foul with 18.6 seconds left to go. And foul is going to be on Elam, his first foul. 1 on Pioneer, 3 on Adrian for the fouls. Mutinda at the line. Mutinda puts up the first shot and in. Mutinda gets Pioneer's first points, and it's 15-1. Mutinda can knock it down to a 13-point lead with this rebound. He'll get the ball. Mutinda bends the knees, puts it up off the back of the rim, pulled down by Freisteller. Now Sampa on the far wing. Gets it over Miles Powell, over Conde for 3, then off the back of the rim, chased down. Brown lets it go out. That'll be Adrian Ball on the far sideline. 9.2 seconds left to go. Here in the first, 15-1. Adrian with the lead. Now they roll it in. That picked up. Here comes Ficklin. Over half court, Ficklin gets into the paint, puts it up high off glass, pulled down by Freisteller. That will do it. Basket comes after the whistle, as it is Pioneer 1 and Adrian 15. Let's play a quick couple messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back with your second half action. Freisteller picks up a foul. Second quarter action, excuse me. Freisteller picks up his first foul, so it's 2 fouls on Pioneer, 3 on Adrian.
Health concern.
As to the line shooting is Ficklin. Bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. As Ficklin now has 7 points. He's split the pair as it's 16-1. Adrian with the lead, and now let's listen to the MHSA.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
8 minutes up on the clock, getting ready to go here in the second. As the ball inbounded by Brown, bringing it ahead is Ficklin. Has it top of the key. Ficklin hands it off to DeKaiser. Now back over. Ficklin has it at the near elbow. Ficklin down the near side of the paint, puts it up off glass. That is going to be Pioneer ball. 7:46 left to go. Sampa brings it ahead for Pioneer. Sampa over half court. Sampa over to Strauss on the near wing. Strauss kicks it over to Mutinda. Mutinda hits it over to Freisteller. Now Juhas, top of the key, puts it up and in. Juhas for 3. As Juhas has his first points of the game, it's 16-4. Pioneer down to Adrian as Elam gets it over on the near wing to Davies. Davies back over to Brown on the far wing. Now that being watched. Working it in is Ficklin. Ficklin into the paint. That is going to be jump ball. Possession arrow points Pioneers way, 16-4. As Sampa brings it ahead. Sampa over half court, now on the near wing. Sampa trying to make his way over, and that is going to be Mutinda with the foul. As coming up down the near wing, Ficklin has it over half court for Adrian. 6:48 left to go. Brown on the near wing. Brown. Bounce pass over to DeKaiser. DeKaiser puts it up. That off the rim, off the near side. Strauss with it on the baseline. Here comes Pioneer the other direction, down 16-4. Uhas for three in the near corner. That a little long. Pulled down by Ficklin going the other direction. Ficklin now into the paint. The Lum puts it up. That off the rim, pulled down. Battle for it underneath. That is a whistle. Uhas picks up the foul. That's his first foul. So the inbound is Perez. And put up off the rim, pulled down by Strauss off the back of Uhas, able to keep it in. Over to Strauss, full court pressure by Adrian. 16-4, Pioneer down to Adrian. Is Sampa on the far wing, over far sideline to Freisteller. Now Mutinda puts it up, puts it in. Mutinda with 3 points, and it's 16-6. Adrian with the lead. As Ficklin brings it ahead with 5:55 left to go before halftime. Ficklin comes up top of the key, now moves it over to Perez. Perez kicks it back to Brown. Brown for three from the far wing. That pulled down by Freisteller. Here comes Sampa for Pioneer. Over half court, Sampa. And moves it back to Strauss into the near corner. Uhas thought about it. Bounce pass over to Mutinda. Mutinda into the paint. Mutinda spins, puts it up off glass. Wouldn't go. Gets his own rebound. Pulled down, out of bounds. Pioneer ball with 5:24 left to go. Parker back in. And over to Strauss. Strauss at the near elbow over to Freisteller. Freisteller puts up for three. That off the rim. Freisteller gets his own rebound over to Uhas into the paint. Puts it up, puts it in. Uhas with 5 points, 16-8. Adrian with the lead, 8-point lead with 5:05 left to go here in the half. Bringing it ahead is Ficklin. Ficklin over half court. Ficklin watched there by Sampa, top of the key. Ficklin comes to the near elbow now, moves it on the near wing to Parker. Parker kicks it over to Davies. Davies steps back, Mutinda watching him. Davies over to Ficklin, just inside of half court. Ficklin, top of the key, now comes over to the far elbow, moves it back over to Perez. Perez, top of the key, 4:37 left to go. And over to Parker. Parker moves it back over to Ficklin. He's about 5 feet inside of half court. Ficklin, top of the key, comes down to the far elbow, puts it up, and off the rim, then off the glass, fell off. Freisteller with the rebound. Here comes Sampa for Pioneer, over half court. As Freisteller has it on the far wing, Sampa just off the top of the key, 4:11 left to go here in the second. 16-8. As Adrian has it, timeout call by Pioneer. They want to talk things over. Let's play a quick message from the MHSAA.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As 4 minutes and 6 seconds left to go here before halftime. Adrian has the lead, 16-8. As Strauss to inbound for Pioneers, skies it over to Sampa in the backcourt. Sampa brings it over half court. Sampa hands it off to Uhas. Uhas over to Strauss. Uhas gets it back on the far wing. Being watched by Hayes. Uhas to the free throw line. Down to the near corner. Sampa for three, and he hits it. As Sampa has his first points of the game, and now it's 16-11. Adrian up by 5. Ficklin brings it over half court. Sampa picks him up there. Ficklin steps back, moves it on the near wing, over to Davies. Davies comes top of the key. Davies gets it over to Hayes on the far wing, into the far corner for Perez. Perez trying to make his way down the baseline, puts it up, off glass and in. Perez with his first points of the game. And it's 18-11. Adrian up by 7. Sampa for Pioneer. Hands it off to Uhas. Over to Strauss. Now Uhas back on the far wing. Bounce pass to Mutinda into the paint. Mutinda puts it up. That off the glass on the near side. Out of bounds. 3:06 left to go here in the second. 18-11. Adrian with the lead. Christian comes in as well as Miles Powell. Sampa inbound baseline left for Pioneer. Gets it to Strauss. Strauss to the free throw line. Strauss bounce pass to Christian. Now Miles Powell for three from the near corner. Rattles it around and home. As it rolls in, Miles Powell has his first points. He has 3, and it's 18-14. Pioneer down by 4. As Ficklin has it over to Parker on the far wing. Gets it down to Hayes, down into the paint. That put up. And Perez put it up, that off the iron. Here comes Sampa for Pioneer. Over half court. Pioneer down by 4. Moves it over to Strauss. Strauss on the far sideline for Miles Powell. Miles Powell dribbling to his left over to Freisteller. Freisteller over to Sampa. Into the near corner for Strauss, who makes his way around the arc. And over to Miles Powell, just off the top of the key. Sampa on the far sideline. Works his way from the far side over onto the near wing. Bounce pass to Christian, top of the key, over to Freisteller, who moves over to Strauss. Now Sampa has it on the near wing. Sampa works his way around the arc. 2 minutes and 2 seconds left to go here before halftime. Freisteller comes down the baseline from the near side, up off the glass and in. Freisteller now has 2. As it's 18-16, Pioneer down by 2 with 1:45 left to go. As Ficklin has it, puts up a long 2-pointer and drains it. Ficklin has 9 points. As timeout called at 1:39 before halftime. As Adrian calls the timeout, Adrian has the 20-16 lead over Pioneer. It was as much as 15-0, but Pioneer has managed to fight their way back. Four fouls on Pioneer, 4 fouls on Adrian, 1:39 left to go here in the second. 20 points for Adrian, 16 points for Pioneer. Sampa with the ball as he brings up for Pioneer over half court. Sampa over to Strauss on the near wing. Strauss working against Elam. Strauss bounce pass to Christian, top of the key, over to Freisteller on the far wing. Freisteller, top of the key, over to Miles Powell on the far elbow, back over to Freisteller in the far wing. That put up by Freisteller, up and in from the far elbow. Freisteller has 4 points, and it's a 2-point game, 20-18. Adrian with the lead. Elam has it over half court for Adrian, into the near corner for Hayes. Hayes into the paint, puts up a left hook off the back of the rim. Sampa with the rebound for Pioneer. 1 minute left to go before halftime. Pioneer down by 2. Adrian with the 20-18 lead. Miles Powell over to Sampa. Sampa on the near wing. Freisteller puts up the 3-pointer off the back of the rim, trying to bat it down. That out of bounds. Pioneer ball. 45.2 seconds left to go here in the second. As Sampa to inbound, baseline left. Just the near side of Pioneer's basket. Now Miles Powell for 3. He hits it, nothing but net. Miles Powell has 2 3-pointers, 6 points. Pioneer takes their first lead, 21-20. Elam brings it up court for Adrian. Elam has Strauss pick him up. Elam comes top of the key, 26 seconds left to go. Moves it over to Brown. Brown back to Elam on the near wing. Elam comes down the baseline. Now Elam stops, puts it up, puts it in. Elam with 6 points, and it's 22-21. Adrian with the lead. Full court pressure by Ficklin. Sampa brings it up. 9 seconds left to go. Sampa for Pioneer. Over half court. 5 seconds left to go. Sampa top of the key. 3 seconds left to go. Christian underneath and in. Beautiful pass by Sampa. Christian puts it in, and it's 23-22. Pioneer comes back and gets it to a 1-point lead at halftime as we will take a look at the points so far for Pioneer. Miles Powell leads the way with 6 points. Next would be 5 points for Uhas, 3 points for Mutinda, 3 points for Sampa, 2 points for Christian. On the other side, it is Fricklin leading all scores with 9 points, 6 for Elam, 3 points for Brown, 2 points for Parker, 2 points for Perez. And that is where we are at. Nobody in foul trouble. As looks like the cheerleaders are going to have a senior night ceremony as well. So we will bring that to you as we are counting down as they're getting things set up. Let's play a couple quick messages from the MHSA, and as soon as the senior celebration for the cheerleaders takes place, we'll switch over to that. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Basketball at halftime. It's Pioneer 23, Adrian 22.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better.
Players, but for an important support part of the program, the cheer team. We want to recognize our seniors for their faithful service and enthusiastic service over the years. First of all, I want to say that Andrea is unable to be here tonight due to a scheduling conflict, but we recognize her contributions. Andrea. Next, Haven Holman. Haven has cheered for 7 seasons. She's being escorted by her dad, Devon Holman, stepmom Nicole Holman, and her siblings. She'll be studying performing arts, specifically acting. So remember Haven Holman. You can say I remember one. Haven's favorite thing about cheerleading is all the teamwork and trust needed when stunting. It takes a lot of skill and determination to do it, and I just love it. Haven Holman. Mia McGree has cheered for Pioneer for 8 seasons. She's escorted by her mom, dad, and siblings. Mia will be studying pre-med in the fall, and her favorite thing about cheer is her friends, our friends. And that's Lindsay Miller. Lindsay has cheered for 7 seasons. She's escorted by her mom, Sherry, and dad, Bill. She will be studying elementary education in the fall, and her favorite thing about cheer is the community of the team. Lindsay Miller. And Natalie Woodland. Natalie's been cheering for 3 seasons. She's being escorted by her mom, dad, and siblings. She made the cheer team coming up at Siena Heights, where she'll be attending and studying criminal justice. Her favorite thing about cheer is seeing the passion and strength that everyone builds during every season. Natalie Woodland and our cheer team seniors. And the rest of the cheer team, take it all.
Is a fantastic celebration of the seniors, not just on the basketball team, but also on the cheer squad. Adrian has a couple seniors as well. That is Ficklin, who's leading all scorers as a senior, as well as Davies, Potenza, and Martin are all seniors on the Adrian team, and we wish all of them best of luck, whatever their next endeavor is, wherever they go. We hope that all of them have a fantastic career in front of them. As we're counting down, let's play a few messages. We'll continue playing some messages from the MHSAA, and we'll be back with your second half action.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
2 minutes counting down before we get back going again. Pioneer will be in action next as they will be at the District 18 playoffs hosted by Ypsilanti Lincoln, as the opening round will be Ypsilanti Lincoln versus Ypsilanti Community on the 6th of March at 7 p.m. Ypsilanti Lincoln 6-14 versus 0-17 Ypsilanti Community. Then Pioneer will play Saline, rematch of the big game that just happened. Saline 14-6, Pioneer 10-10. That will be on the 8th at 5:30 at Ypsilanti Lincoln. After that will be Huron playing the winner of Ypsilanti Lincoln, Ypsilanti Community. Huron 19-1, continuing to roll. That game will be at 7 p.m. at Ypsilanti Lincoln. Then the district final will be 7 p.m. on March 10th. Over at Ypsilanti Community. SEC Red scores from all the way back on February 21st. It was Huron beating Skyline 46-38. Pioneer beat Saline 53-49. It was Dexter beating Monroe 50-33, and Temperance Bedford beating Ypsilanti Lincoln 54-44. On the 24th, it was Dexter beating Chelsea 71-59, and it was Grosse Ile beating Monroe 50-47. On the 25th, Huron beat Pioneer 40-29. On the 26th, it was Skyline beating Father Gabriel Richard 50-29, and that will do it. As we're getting ready to go here, Adrian to inbound. Elam has it right in front of us as he'll inbound near sideline. Pioneer up by 1, 23-22. As they will stop the clock, reset it to 8 minutes. And Adrian to inbound. Elam gets it over to Ficklin. Ficklin over half court. Ficklin for Adrian. Comes top of the key, being watched by Sampa. That moved over to Hayes on the far wing. Hayes into the paint. That put up on the baseline and in by Parker. Parker has 4 points. 24-23. Adrian with the 1-point lead. Freisteller gets it to Sampa for Pioneer. Back over to Freisteller on the far wing. Freisteller bounce pass to Christian on the far side of the paint. Christian up with the right hook. That rolls off the rim to the front side. Rebound by Adrian as Elam brings it down the far sideline. Adrian up by 1, 24-23 as Ficklin has it. Hands it off to Elam. Now back to Ficklin on the far wing. Ficklin on the far elbow, stolen away by Freisteller. Over to Sampa for Pioneer. Sampa down the far sideline. Back to Freisteller. Up and in. Freisteller finger rolls it in, and that is 25-24. Pioneer with the 1-point lead. 7 minutes left to go here in the third. Elam for Adrian brings it over half court. Elam working against Uhas, now on the near wing over to Hayes. Hayes gets it underneath. That kicked out and stolen away by Uhas. Here comes Sampa for Pioneer, bringing it up. Pioneer up by 1. And the ball into the near corner. Miles Powell for 3. Miles Powell with his third three-pointer. He has 9, and that's a timeout called. 28-24, Pioneer with 4-point lead, their biggest of the game, and we'll play a little push on and be right back. 6:36 left to go here in the third. 28-24, Pioneer with the lead. Ficklin brings it ahead for Adrian. Gets it over half court as Sampa picks him up there. Elam has it on the near wing, working against Uhas. Elam back over to Brown, just off the top of the key. Gets a screen from Ficklin. Now that's stolen away by Christian for Pioneer. Sampa brings it up court for Pioneer, over half court. Sampa on the far wing, gets a screen from Christian, working his way around the arc. Back over into the far corner. Uhas for 3, off the rim, tipped up. Freisteller gets it up and it rattles around in home. Freisteller with 8 points. 30-24, Pioneer with a 6-point lead. 5:55 left to go here in the third. Ficklin brings it over half court for Adrian. Sampa has him top of the key. Ficklin puts it on the near wing. That put up by Elam, and Elam nothing but net. As Elam has 8 points, and it is 30-26, 4-point lead by Pioneer. Uhas for Pioneer on the far sideline. Miles Powell for 3. That off the back of the rim, pulled down by Brown for Adrian. As there is a whistle. Foul on Christian. picks up his first foul as Adrian inbounds it. Hayes gets it over to Ficklin. Ficklin over half court. Ficklin dribbles to his left, now at the near elbow. Ficklin puts it up. And off the glass to the far side. Freisteller with the rebound. 5:15 left to go here in the third. Pioneer with it. Freisteller into the paint. Kicks it back to Sampa at the top of the key. Sampa, it rattles out for Sampa. Brown the other direction for Adrian over half court. 4-point lead by Pioneer. Brown down to the baseline. Kicks it back. Now Ficklin, top of the key. Sampa watching him. Ficklin over to Elam. Elam for three. And just shy, tipped off the front of the rim. Miles Powell over to Sampa. Over to Uhas for Pioneer. Uhas thought about it. Now at the far elbow, puts it up off glass. That rolls off the rim. Freisteller trying to have it, and it's grabbed. Jump ball as Brown got his hands on it. 4:36 left to go here in the third. 30-26. Pioneer with the 4-point lead. Sampa skies it all the way back. Freisteller at the top of the key. Over into the near corner. And on the baseline, Christian gets it back as Freisteller for three, and he hits it. Freisteller with 11 points, and it's 33-26. 7-point lead for Pioneer. Ficklin brings it ahead for Adrian over half court. 4:15 left to go here in the third. Ficklin to the far elbow, and tipped away by Uhas. Battle for it. And it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow points Adrian's way. Pasternak and Mutinda come in and give Uhas and Christian a break. One foul on Pioneer, none on Adrian thus far. As that inbounded over to Parker and put up by Elam, and tough luck. Hit the back of the rim, fell out. Here comes Sampa the other direction. As Miles Powell has it for Pioneer on the far wing. Over to Freisteller on the far sideline. Mutinda has it on the baseline now. Back to Pasternak. Now top of the key to Miles Powell. He's watched by Elam. Miles Powell gets it over to Pasternak on the far sideline. Pasternak into the paint. Puts it up. Finger roll with the left hand. Wouldn't go. Mutinda had it. Went up. Whistle blown. And a foul that is going to be... Hayes picks up the foul. That is one foul on Pioneer, one foul on Adrian this half. Mutinda to the line. First shot is up off the front of the rim. One more shot coming for Mutinda, trying now to make it an 8-point lead for Pioneer. Mutinda dribbles, eyes the rim, bends the knees, puts it up and in. Mutinda has 4 points, and it's 34-26. 8-point lead for Pioneer as Ficklin brings it over half court for Adrian. Ficklin hands it. Looked like he was going to hand it off. Now comes down and whistle, no basket. As that is going to be a foul on Sampa. So Sampa picks up his first foul. Parker to inbound for Adrian, baseline left with 3:26 left to go here in the third. And all the way back to Ficklin. Ficklin has it. Top of the key over Elam for three. Then off the rim, pulled down by Freisteller. Sampa brings it up for Pioneer. As that dump to Mutinda in the paint, puts it up off the rim, trying to get his own rebound. Freisteller gets it, moves it. There's a three-pointer by Pasternak. That one just long. Freisteller tries to save it, and picked up by Adrian. Coming the other direction. Here comes Ficklin over half court. Pioneer up by 8. Ficklin for Adrian with it. Top of the key. Moves it over. And put up by Parker. And in long two-pointer by Parker. At 6 points for him. 2:47 left to go here in the third. Sampa for Pioneer down the far sideline. Miles Powell with it on the near wing. Miles Powell picked up his dribble, looking for help. Now bounce pass over to Mutinda on the baseline. Mutinda spins in the paint, puts it up off glass and in. Power by Mutinda to power through a block attempt. He has 6, and it's 36-28. 8-point lead by Pioneer with 2:24 left to go here in the third. Elam has it. Elam comes top of the key into the paint, puts up a floater off the back of the rim, but a whistle blows. As that is going to be a foul on Pasternak. 3 fouls on Pioneer, 1 on Adrian. Elam to the line as Elam Gets the ball, dribbles, bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. As Elam has 9 points, trying to make it 10. He can get it down to a 6-point lead by Pioneer. Pioneer has as much as an 8-point lead. And second shot by Elam off the front, the back of the rim and in. Elam with 10 points, Pioneer 36, and Adrian 30. Pioneer with the ball. Pasternak has it, moves it back to Sampa over half court. Now back to Pasternak. Over to Freisteller, underneath to Mutinda in the paint and up and in. Mutinda with 8 points, Pioneer 38, Adrian 30, as Ficklin brings it over half court. Ficklin, top of the key, moves it over on the far wing to DeKaiser. DeKaiser trying to make his way down the baseline, spins, puts it up, off the back of the rim, pulled down by Parker. Parker moves it top of the key to DeKaiser. DeKaiser back to Parker into the paint. Parker hands it off. That blocked as Brown tried to put it up. Blocked by Freisteller. They end up taking out Delaney's poster over there with the block. As Elam inbounds it, and that just a little zig when they expect a zag out of bounds. Pioneer ball. 1:34 left to go here in the third. And Sampa brings it ahead. Sampa make his way down the far sideline. Gets it over to DeKaiser. DeKaiser over to Pasternak. Pasternak back to Sampa just inside of half court. Sampa steps back. Ficklin watching him. Now moves it over to Pasternak. Pasternak over Miles Powell. Back to Pasternak on the far wing. Over to Freisteller trying to get it to him, as that is going to be Ficklin. Picks up his second foul. 3 on Pioneer, 2 on Adrian this half. 1:08 left to go. In the third, Sampa to inbound. Baseline right. Sampa gets it. That put up by Miles Powell. Rattled out. Oh, it looked like it was going down. Popped out. Ficklin with the ball for Adrian. Here comes Elam. On the near wing, that put up by DeKaiser. Off the rim, pulled down by Sampa. Sampa. That intercepted by Ficklin. Ficklin down the far side of the paint. Puts it up off glass with the right hand. But that is a whistle, and Sampa is going to pick up his second foul. And is going to be the 4th on Pioneer this half, 2 on Adrian. 50.1 seconds left to go here in this third. Ficklin to the line to shoot 2. Ficklin dribbles the ball, spins it in his hands. Eyes the rim, puts it up. And rims out. Tough luck miss for Ficklin. He has one more, trying to get it down to a 7-point lead. 38-30, Pioneer with the lead. Ficklin, one more shot coming. As Ficklin bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. As Ficklin with 10 points, tied with Elam, as that leads all scorers. Sampa for Pioneer, over to Miles Powell, back to Sampa. Over to Pasternak, back to Sampa. Now Miles Powell has it. Over to Freisteller. Pasternak into Mutinda on the baseline. Knocked out of bounds. That'll be Pioneer ball. 35.1 seconds left to go here in the third. 38-31. Pioneer with the 7-point lead. Sampa to inbound. Baseline right, just on the far side of his own basket. Freisteller at the far elbow for Pioneer. Freisteller on the near wing to Miles Powell. Miles Powell gets it to Mutinda. Back to Freisteller to the near elbow. Now on the far wing. Over into the far corner. Miles Powell has that. Now Freisteller puts it up. Finger rolls off the rim and in, as Freisteller now leads all scorers with 13 points. 10 seconds left to go here in the third. Ficklin brings it ahead, racing down the far side of the paint, loses his edge in the ball. Here comes Miles Powell. 1 second left to go. Miles Powell puts it up, off the rim, off the glass, wouldn't go. At the end of 3, it is Pioneer 40 and Adrian 31. So a 9-point lead by Pioneer, largest they've had. As we'll play a quick message from the MHSA and be right back.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As for Pioneer, Freistaller has 13 points. That leads all scores. Next, it's Mutinda with 8, Powell with 8. 5 points for Juhas, 3 for Sampa, 2 for Christian. On the other side, both Elam and Ficklin have 10 points, 6 for Parker, 3 for Brown, and 2 for Perez. Strauss inbound right in front of us for Pioneers. Strauss gets it over to Sampa. Sampa bringing it for Pioneer. Ficklin watching him with full court pressure. Sampa over half court. Sampa gets this to Strauss on the far wing. Strauss, top of the key to Mutinda. He comes over to the near wing. Now Freisteller for 3. Then off the front of the rim. Mutinda with the rebound. He goes up. That goes off the side of the rim, but a whistle and a foul. That is going to be looking like it's on Parker. Parker has his first foul. Mutinda to the line. First shot up by Mutinda, up and good. Mutinda has 9 points, trying to make it 10. It is now a 10-point lead by Pioneer. Biggest lead of the game was Adrian with 15. Next shot off the back of the rim by Mutinda, that grab by Perez. Here comes Adrian the other way. Pioneer up by 10, 41-31. Ficklin has it, top of the key, moves it over to DeKaiser, spinning into the paint. That blocked, but a travel before the Juhas block, and that will be Pioneer's ball. 7:30 left to go here in the fourth. Strauss to inbound, baseline left, gets it over to Sampa, bringing ahead for Pioneer. Sampa, full court pressure by Ficklin. Sampa brings it ahead, over half court. Sampa just on the far sideline, races down, right to the arc. Now Mutinda top of the key, over to Freistaller, over to Strauss. Now Sampa has it on the far sideline. Sampa gets a screen for Mutinda, comes to the free throw line. Now kicks it over to Freistaller on the far wing. Bounce pass, Mutinda on the baseline. As that is going to be stepped on the baseline, that'll be Adrian Ball. 7:02 left to go here in the fourth, 41-31. Pioneer with the lead. Ficklin brings it ahead for Adrian over half court. As Ficklin, top of the key, watched by Sampa. Gets over to Parker at the far elbow. Underneath, over to Elam. Elam puts it up as it rolled off the near side of the rim, but a whistle. Juhas picks up his second foul. And it's going to be in the shot of, in the act of shooting. Elam goes to the line. Elam bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. Elam with 11 points to lead all. Adrian scores. Christian comes in as well as Miles Powell for Pioneer, giving Mutinda and Sampa a breather. Elam, second shot coming. As he bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. Elam hits them both. He has 12 points, and it's now 41-33. Pioneer with the 8-point lead. Juhas for Pioneer bringing it ahead. Watching him is DeKaiser. Juhas over half court. Juhas hits it underneath to Christian. That knocked away. Christian gets it back, but not before there was a foul, as that is going to be on Elam. It's his second foul. 5 on Pioneer. 4 on Adrian this half. Christian to the line, shooting 2. Christian dribbles, eyes the rim, bends the knees, puts it up. Oh, tough luck misses it, rimmed out. One more coming for Christian. He's trying to get it back to a 9-point lead. Pioneer's biggest has been 10. Christian bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. It's nothing but net. Christian with 3 points. 42-33. Pioneer with the lead. Ficklin has it on the near wing for Adrian. Moves it back. Elam for 3. Elam, that off the back of the rim. Parker gets the rebound. Parker with the left hook up and in. right hook, excuse me. Parker has 8 points. 6:15 left to go here in the fourth. As Uhas moves it over to Freisteller. Freisteller saves the ball. They're going to say it was out of bounds. Adrian ball. 42-35, 7-point lead for Pioneer. 6:09 left to go here in the fourth. As Ficklin brings it ahead down the far sideline over half court. Ficklin calls out signals. Uhas picks him up. Ficklin gets a screen from Elam. Ficklin puts it up as that rims out. Uhas with the rebound. As Pioneer up by 7, 42-35. Uhas for Pioneer has it on the near wing. Over to Freisteller in the far corner. Freisteller comes to the near elbow. Now Strauss top of the key. Over to Freisteller on the near wing, working against the Kaiser. Uhas has it, about 6 feet inside of half court. Strauss on the far wing. Top of the key now coming in. Freisteller. So he went to pass it over, bumped, and a foul. Perez picks up his first foul, and it's 5 fouls on Pioneer, 5 fouls on Adrian, 2 more by either team, and that'll put the other team in the bonus. Uhas to inbound, baseline right. Looking for a place to go, and timeout call before they get a 5-second foul. Full timeout. Let's play push on, and a couple messages from the MHSAA.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
5:31 left to go here in the fourth, 42-35. Pioneer with the lead and the ball. Uhas inbounds it to Strauss. Strauss top of the key, then tipped away, but gets it back from Perez. In the far corner, Miles Powell gets it back to Strauss. Strauss over to Uhas on the near wing. Uhas working against the Kaiser, comes at the near elbow. On the near side of the paint, puts it up and in. Uhas with a swish. 7 points for Uhas, 44-35. Pioneer up by 9. Ficklin brings it ahead with 5:06 left to go. Ficklin for Adrian, top of the key. Ficklin now gets it over Parker for 3. Parker off the back of the rim, pulled down by Uhas for Pioneer. Uhas ahead over half court. Uhas gets it on the far side of the paint now into the paint. Strauss gets it from Christian, puts it up, and the whistle. So the basket counts for Strauss. As Strauss to the line, trying to make it a 3-point play. That off the back of the rim, pulled down by Parker. Now here comes Adrian, down by 11. Ficklin has it. 4:40 left to go. As hands off to Elam. Elam top of the key. Elam in the near elbow. Puts it up off the rim, wouldn't go. Pulled down by Freisteller. Freisteller over half court. Spins, avoiding big time pressure. Gets over to Strauss. Strauss puts it up, but that's going to be a charge on Strauss. So Strauss picks up his first foul, and 6 fouls on each team. De Kaiser inbounds it. Ficklin brings it in for Adrian with 4:20 left to go here in the fourth. 46-35. Pioneer with the lead. Ficklin calling out signals. Uhas watching him. Kicks off. Elam for 3. That just a little long. Pulled down by Perez. Going to put it up. A whistle that looks like it's going to be. Basket counts. And it's on Christian. Christian's second foul. Perez has 4, trying to make it 5. 9-point game. Perez trying to get it down to an 8-point game. Shot is up by Perez and rims home. So 5 points for Perez. Here comes Uhas the other direction for Pioneer. Moves over to Miles Powell on the far sideline. Strauss with it. Pioneer up 46-38. Under 4 minutes left to go. Miles Powell on the far wing, down the baseline. Miles Powell double team, gets it. Freisteller up and in as Christian found him in the paint. Freisteller with 15 points, still leading all scorers. 3:40 left to go here in the fourth. 10-point lead for Pioneer as Adrian has it. Elam on the far sideline. Elam steps back, gets a little room to work against Uhas. Elam comes down the far side of the paint, puts it up the floater, and off the rim, off to the near side. Miles Powell with it, gets it over to Uhas. Uhas, whistle. Foul is on Perez, his second foul. That puts Pioneer in the bonus. They will be shooting 1-1 at the line. As Hayes back in for Adrian. Uhas has a chance to make it. Up. First one is up and good. Chance to make it a 12-point lead. Uhas has 8 points, trying to make it 9. .12-point lead by Pioneer. That's their largest of the game. Uhas has 9. 3:21 left to go here in the fourth. Elam has it for Adrian. It's about 6 feet off the top of the key. Over on the near wing to Perez. Perez into the paint, puts it up with the right hand, and off the glass of the rim. Elam trying to save it, but couldn't quite get everything on it, and that will be out of bounds to Pioneer on the near sideline. 3:07 left to go here in the fourth. As it's 50-38. Coming ahead with it is Uhas for Pioneer over half court. Uhas has Hayes in front of him. Uhas comes to the far elbow, picks up the dribble, kicks it to Strauss. Down the near wing is Freisteller. Freisteller, top of the key. Freisteller working against Elam. Elam tips away. Elam racing down and puts it up and puts it in with a finger roll. Elam leading all Adrian players with 14 points. 2:40 left to go here in the fourth. 10-point lead for Pioneer. Uhas answer for Pioneer. Hands it off to Miles Powell. Now Strauss back over to Miles Powell on the near wing. Watched by Ficklin. Miles Powell over. That tipped away. Elam trying to steal it and go down again. Elam puts it up off glass. Blocked by Freisteller. That is going to be Pioneer's ball. 2:22 left to go here in the fourth. But good hands by Elam, stealing it twice. Ficklin picks up the foul. It's his third. That is going to put Miles Powell to the line, shooting 1-1. 2 more fouls by Adrian, and Pioneer will be in the double bonus. Miles Powell bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. First one good by Powell. He has 10 points, trying to get to 11. It's back to an 11-point lead by Pioneer. One more, and Miles Powell can equal the largest Pioneer lead of 12. Next one is up, off the back of the rim, pulled down by Ficklin. Here comes Adrian, down by 11. Elam down the far side. As that put up, off the side of the rim. Christian trying to get to it. That tracked down by Hayes. Now Ficklin has it again. 2:07 left to go, 51-40. As Ficklin puts it up just inside of the arc. Rebound by Elam. That wouldn't go off the back of the rim. Strauss trying to get to it, out of bounds. Pioneer ball. 1:56 left to go here in the fourth. 51-40. Pioneer with the 11-point lead. Strauss inbound right in front of the Adrian bench on the far sideline. And over to Uhas for Pioneer, who brings it ahead. Uhas over to Miles Powell. He goes over half court, watched by Hayes. Hands it off to Strauss, as that will be Adrian Ball, as they'll call Miles Powell with the foul. It's his first foul. 8 fouls on Pioneer, 8 fouls on Adrian. Adrian with the ball. Ficklin brings it ahead. 1:44 left to go. Ficklin top of the key. Now gets it. Parker for 3. That off the front of the rim. Pulled down as Pioneer has it. Juhas coming up the far sideline. 1:30 left to go. Miles Powell has it. Pioneer by 11 points. Over to Strauss. Strauss coming down the far sideline, spins with it, kicks it to Freisteller in the paint. As that is going to be a blocking foul, as it is going to be on Parker. Parker with his second foul. That is going to put, that's the 9th foul. That is going to put Freisteller to the line, shooting, I believe, 1 and 1. As Delaney and Conde come in for Pioneer. As Christian and Miles Powell get a round of applause. Freisteller puts it up and in. Lane violation on Pioneer. That goes over to Adrian. 1:21 left to go here in the fourth. 51-40. Pioneer with the lead. Ficklin lets the ball roll. Now picks it up to start the clock. Ficklin over half court for Adrian. Ficklin working against Juhas. Comes to the free throw line. Underneath to Parker. Parker off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Freisteller. Freisteller for Pioneer. Trying to bring it in. Full court pressure by Adrian. 1 minute, 5 seconds left to go. Freisteller trying to work around Perez. Freisteller into the paint. Loses the handle. As a whistle underneath. That is going to be on Freisteller as a charge. That's his second foul. 9 fouls on Pioneer, 9 fouls on Adrian. 59 seconds left to go. Pioneer up by 11 as Elam brings ahead for Adrian over half court. Elam down the far sideline, on the far wing. Elam to the free throw line, puts it up. That blocked by Strauss. Now Juhas brings ahead for Pioneer. Watched by Ficklin. Juhas over half court. Juhas on the near wing. Pioneer up by 11. Juhas picks up the dribble. Gets it over to Strauss just inside of half court. Strauss comes to the near side of the far side. Strauss, top of the key, kicks it back to Juhas. 30 seconds left to go. Juhas on the far wing. Now Juhas on the far sideline gets it to Strauss just inside of half court. Elam trying to tip that away. Strauss gets it back. 20 seconds left to go. Underneath to Delaney, who puts it up and in. Delaney has his first points of the game, and the senior has too. 10 seconds left to go here in the fourth. Elam getting it on the baseline. That put up and in by Perez. Perez now has 7 points, and that will do it. Pioneer wins 53-42. Pioneer again will be at Lincoln. They will play Saline. That will be on the 8th of March at 5:30 over at Lincoln. We'll let you know if we can broadcast that game. Big thank you to my camera person, James Wiseman. My name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of the evening. Good night.